Good morning, everybody. This is Heflamoke here. I'm, in theory at least, connected to Mr. More Rage, please, MRP underscore Dota. That is my co-caster for today. We are casting here the ESCC 2015, which is pretty much a LAN, $40,000 on the line in China. By the way, do you have the Wikipedia link? Please have that one, so we can actually post it in the, in the chat. The format is a bit confusing. It's 2 days of a best of one format, round robin, 8 teams. Everything's best of one. Then the 4 best teams go into a normal double elimination best of 3 playoff stage, which is gonna be tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. Yes.
Yeah, one interesting thing about that, the way the seeding works, it's not 1 versus 4, 2 versus 3 in that double elim. The first place team from the round robin, which is currently TongFu, actually gets to select their opponent in the first round from the other 3 remaining teams. So that's pretty cool.
Yep. Wait, I'm still trying to find that Wikipedia link from yesterday, but Jesus Lord. I don't know. I'm just happy I'm actually finding the lobby that the Chinese admins are sort of responding. So everything's good, man. I don't know if you were up yesterday when I actually
mute. Kind of weird.
Earthshaker.
What?
Winter Wyvern.
Did you just say something, my friend? No. I think my co-caster is just gone. Anyway, let's look into the draft, guys. We have the cores already being banned out, those who are, most popular at the moment. That's the last strike. But other than that, it's pretty much like an offliner as well as like 2 very, very annoying roaming as well as laning heroes with the Undying and the Tusk. No Clockwork for the offline. We get a Queen of Pain and the Winter Wyvern in combination for TongFu and a Gyrocopter Earthshaker for Vici Gaming. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's something actually, the Tusk is something that a lot of the Chinese teams like to run earlier on. Leshrock's just, the meta type hero. But as you mentioned, a little more laning presence I feel with the Earthshaker than is with the Wyvern. But Wyvern just a generally great pickup altogether. It's pretty nice up against the Gyro as well. You can curse him before he BKBs, get a lot done with that. But Rocket Barrage early on, still very good versus the Cold Embrace. So TongFu are going to need a solution for that.
I just found the link, by the way, the Wikipedia link, so that is now in the chat, and I hope people find it, so we don't have to explain the format all the time, or people can look up what the standings are, because I was a bit confused yesterday myself. At the moment, we have a 3-0 standing for TongFu, so it's looking very good for them. EP, Energy Pacemaker, they are 2-0 up, but they only have played 2 games, while Newbie, for example, and VOL, like Victory or Lord, They played 4 games already and they have a 2-2 standing, which means Vici, for example, right now, if they win this game, then they are suddenly 3rd, and Newbie and Victory Lord, they get the 5th position or share the 5th position. So we have to have some deciders there on the way. And of course, TongFu, if they win here with the 4-0, they are pretty much in already. Like, I'm not sure mathematically, but I don't think there are enough games to actually kick you out of the first 4 if you're already 4-0 up.
Yes, 7 games total, but definitely puts them in a very good position. Victor or Lord has been pretty impressive so far. Actually, they were one of the teams that beat VG potential, so this is a very big game for VG.P. And as you mentioned, in terms of the standing, it's a very tall task for them up against TongFu.
You know what's the funny part? Yesterday, people asked me about my predictions, and obviously I said, like, okay, I know Energy Pacemaker because we casted them in Malaysia, even so I saw their performance in comparison, for example, to a Korean team, MVP Hot 6. TongFu, I mean, this is TongFu Young, if I'm not mistaken. That's the normal TongFu and Newbie Young. And yeah, they're like Chinese tier 2 teams. They are approximately the same performance like Energy Pacemaker. Victory Your Lord and Terrorplate, I had no idea how they play, but Terrorplate yesterday, they played an amazing Naga game, by the way. Like, Miracle Naga was a joke against it. Okay, that's exaggerated, but still. I have no idea about, like, Dream Gaming, VG Potential, and Victory Your Lord. These are, like, for me, the unknown factors in this. And my prediction was actually that VG Potential is going to make number 4, and then the rest, like, Newbie, EP, and TongFu. But Victory Your Lord, you said it already. They look impressive at the moment, not just by score, also by the performance. Let's see.
Yeah, VG Potential have been together for a couple months now, so they haven't looked bad, but yeah, definitely not a standout quite yet. This is certainly a proving grounds for them. Either way, going through the bans, the Viper SF are going to be taken by TongFu, so they're definitely looking to secure a good early game for their Queen of Pain in the mid. Shadow Fiend plus Earthshaker, very good roaming duo against the Quap. One Fisher pretty much guarantees 2 raises, and starting with low health, that's very scary for the Quap. So they're definitely trying to ensure that I think it'll be U9 picking up that Queen of Pain in the mid. Will have a good time. Either way, Techie's ban, interestingly enough, coming out from VG.P.
A techie span. Okay, that's something I did not expect because right now I don't even see TongFu like picking a techies. There's no Tusk, a tiny, something that would push anything into mines. I didn't really see it coming, but instead we get a Bounty Hunter up, which is actually not too bad. For example, against the Spirit Breaker, because if you're tracked, then charging somewhere else on the other side of the map is kind of hard. They see exactly where you are, so there could be some sniping on the way. And of course, on top of all of that, the Bounty Hunter guarantees quite some gold influx. Plus, they have enough burst damage right now with the Queen of Pain to really blow one of the targets up. That means we need a BKB on the Gyrocopter ASAP. I mean, it doesn't really help against the Sonic Wave, but of course against the rest of it.
Spirit Breaker is a very interesting pick for me up against the Wyvern and the Queen of Pain. You expect this Queen of Pain to have an Orchid probably around the 14 or 15 minute mark, considering how they've banned for her, and that's going to instantly cancel up anything the SB has there. Also, as you mentioned, they've got the track, and even just the throwing the Cold Embrace on the charged target is pretty darn good. But VG.P are going to look to supplement this aggressive strat, and they're going to add the Storm Spirit on top of that Charge of Darkness for some more ganking potential.
Yep, and at the moment I'm just checking, guys. So the matches are not on D2L, but you can find for the betting fanatics, by the way, you can find them on Dota 2 Best YOLO, as well as VP Gaming, or VPGame.com. They have pretty much all of it listed at the moment. That's like this new Chinese platform which came up. And we are ticketed on Gozy Gamers as well as Liquid Dota. So I think our streams are assigned everywhere, just making sure the viewers can actually find us. So Dragonite and Storm Spirit it is. Okay, so the Storm Spirit adds some mobility, pretty much the same mobility we had with the Queen of Pain, maybe of course a bit more with the Ball Lightning, but I mean we have Spirit Breaker, we have Storm Spirit, a Blink Dagger initiation by the Earthshaker around the 15 to 20 minute mark, depending on how fast he's gonna get all of that together. So Vici Gaming, when it comes to really mobility, I definitely like that. On TongFu's side, well, that's gonna be, of course, a problem. Bounty Hunter is kind of a squishy thing. The same with Winter Wyvern after Cold Embrace and stuff is out. Dragonite, of course, tanky by default, but he does not have magic resistance too much.
I think my worry for VG.P is really if the early game doesn't go super well for them and they don't snowball. I think they have a lot of ways to deal with this Gyro late game with the Wyvern. I think the point of the Bounty Hunter pick was just to shadow that roaming Earthshaker, mostly early on, try and snipe some runes from him, soak a little bit of XP, cancel his clarities, and things of the like. So I think the point of the BH pick for TongFu is really to secure the laning stage for him. Dragonite, innately a very weak laner. I'm interested to see where they actually put the DK. Do you expect it to be mid and they put Queen of Pain in the safe for the offlane?
That's the interesting question, yeah. To be honest, I think they put the Queen of Pain in the mid against the Storm Spirit. Range versus ranged, quite some harass with the Shadow Strike. It makes a lot more sense. The Dragonite in the safe lane farming, getting a fast Shadow played up, which is here in China. Like yesterday, I think I had 2 DKs in all of those games I casted and all observed. And yeah, we never had like a Blink Dagger DK, which sometimes comes out, for example, in the West, or like this hardcore only stats items, strength items DK that is relying on initiation from other people. So yeah, that's I think the matchup we're gonna get.
Yeah, I mean, we could go a little hybrid here, maybe like an SNY, just because they have the Bounty Hunter to give him a little bit of vision. But generally speaking, you're right in the East. We do see that Shadowblade come out, and DK was one of those heroes that wasn't buffed at all in the patch, but benefited heavily from the item changes. Silver Edge allows him to scale a little later with that Shadowblade pickup, and Moonshard is very good on the DK late game with that splash damage. But VG.P are going to round out their lineup with the Lina here. So it looks like a support Lina with that offlane Spirit Breaker for now, and it's pretty good. They have some decent setup thus far for the Lina.
Yep. The question is, at the moment, I think Vici, they drafted kind of greedy. Like it's pretty greedy on all of those heroes, I have to say. Like all of them, they need key items to survive certain, I don't know, certain burst damage on the other side. You also cannot forget that, like, if we get a bounty hunter that actually finds some farm, then we have a potential Dagon bounty hunter coming up. We have the Queen of Pain. That's a load of damage within seconds. We have a Dragon Knight, which, well, comes with the Breathe Fire. So yeah, that's, I don't know, they can blow up a Lina, Earthshaker, even a Spirit Breaker pretty fast.
Yeah. So unless U9 and Red God are swapping roles from what I've seen recently, at least, I think they're taking this DK mid, which means he's going to have to heavily bottle Crow here. They do have some self-sufficient laners in the Darkseer and the Queen of Pain, though, so I think it's okay that he occupies the Courier, but we'll see if that's the final decision from TongFu.
Alright, just updating the commentator so you also get to mention here on the overlay. Look, there's your name.
Appreciate it.
I give you all the credit you deserve. So yeah, the only problem, of course, we have now is with the names. Most of the team, like TongFu, they actually have proper names together. But I'm not sure about VG, for example. I think there's Lin here on the Storm. We have Yang on the Lena. At the moment is James playing the Earthshaker, heading towards that bottom rune. We have Dogfights. Okay, that's an interesting name. Dogfights on the Spirit Breaker. I don't know, suits a bit the Space Cow. And yeah, XLL is on the Gyrocopter.
Those are actually all official names as well, so shoutouts to both teams for that. We got Red God picking up that safe lane, Queen of Pain for TongFu. May run into a bit of trouble here, but should be able to get well out of range. We got LPC picking up the Winter Wyvern towards the mid lane, U9. Gonna have a tough time up on that Dragon Knight, and Zex Bingo in the off lane. Gonna have the Darkseer that finally leaves the roaming bounty hunter to Kabu.
Zex Bingo. That's also like a very interesting name. You know,
One
when
of
you
my
have a dry spell, and then you're like, Sex Bingo.
U9 gonna get a free bounty rune top. The whole lineup from VG.P gonna secure it for Lin bottom. So both mid laners gonna trade bounty runes here. Looks like an early bottle to come out for U9, as you would expect up against a Storm Spirit. He's gonna be crowing quite a bit here, but picking up that bounty rune will help him out.
Let me just close my window because I don't know, every time I cast, the police decides to, you know, drive by. But looking at it, I think there's some early harass coming out. There is the bounty hunter already saying hello. I mean, this is the 30 damage pretty much coming out from the Shadow Walk, and also the Winter Wyvern is shooting some. But yeah, nothing you cannot eat away pretty much with a tango or two. I mean, this is exactly what they need in the mid, because I already said it. I thought we're gonna get a Queen of Pain. But since it's a Dragon Knight, you need to create some space for the Dragon Knight, so he does not get permanent harass.
Yeah, well, like I alluded to in the draft, this BH pick especially is really to secure the laning stage for TongFu, and the Queen of Pain is more than self-sufficient, as is the Darkseer. So it's the right move for sure for them to just rotate over and give U9 a bit of space to pick up his bottle with that first wave. He's going to get a Dragon Tail off onto Lin. They're going to come in with Kabu, but he's only level 1, so does not have the Shuriken. They're actually going to turn this with a Sentry, one last right click, and the Overload charge there onto U9. 2 kills. Going VG.P's way early on in the mid, and a little bit overzealous with that level 1 bounty hunter. Not sure what they expected to do there mid.
That hurt. That really hurt. Like, I mean, feeding a first blood always hurts, obviously. And it was also just pretty much the second before he got his bottle. Like, the courier was already waiting at the tower. So, yeah, this is a bad start. Feeding also, like, the second one away right after. I mean, the bounty hunter, that's something you can, like, I cannot accept. But, well, good start for VG. That's for sure.
Yeah, very much so. Zex Bingo already picked up his level 3 in the offlane. By virtue of being a dual lane, we see Yang and Dogfights both at level 2. But otherwise, things going very well overall for VG.P.
Yeah, we have to see what's happening now around the 2-minute mark. Bounty Hunter was trying to get somewhere close to that top rune, but yeah, the Earthshaker is securing that. Also bottom, we have actually the Spirit Breaker securing that rune. It was just a regeneration rune. He did not spend pretty much anything. He was, I don't know, I think that the rune healed like 50 mana. Oh, but in the mid, there's a Fissure. There's a Dragon Tail, however, on the Storm Spirit. He is
coming through.
Charged, yeah.
He's going to cancel it, though, early, and I think that's the right decision from Dogfights. Only level 2. He's going to have to rely on that RNG quite a bit to garner a kill there mid, especially with no Vortex leveled by Lin yet. So U9 survives for now, but yeah, don't expect him to get really any runes. He's just going to be crowing heavily. Top lane.
Look, top. That's beautiful, actually, and they want to dive that. Gyrocopter here. Of course, there's a Rocket Barrage, and that's tons of damage, especially if it just goes on one target. They cannot die if there's a self, so he's restoring pretty much full HP. But still, like at the bounty hunter can stick around with the Iron Shell on top. That should be easy. In the meantime, though, the Lina is, the Queen of Pain is actually going down, trying to chase down the Lina, but in the end, well, taking a heavy beating here.
Good rotation from James. Right place, right time for that Earthshaker. And they'll bring down the Queen of Pain, which is going to be a big kill. That's something that TongFu really expects and needs to do well in this draft over in the safe lane.
Yep, I kind of like the laning, to be honest. Like, the way VG lanes this at the moment, they're not really vulnerable. Like, the Storm Spirit will not be killed by the DK alone, like the Darkseer alone against the Gyrocopter. That's also going to be a hard thing, because as soon as you start chasing, you will get the Rocket Barrage in your face, and that means you have to dive the tower, get the tower hits, get the Rocket Barrage. That means you have to start at a very, very decent HP, and I mean, don't forget, Gyrocopter is a ranged hero, so he should not have any trouble by random harass by Iron Shell on creeps.
Yeah, I mean, you expect the Darkseer to get farm, but I think you touched on the key point there. There really isn't much kill potential without a major rotation in. And Kabu's going to go over and do some harass, but there it is. The Rocket Barrage going to zone him out for now.
Yep. And I'm also wondering when we have the Space Cow starting to rotate at the moment. He is level 3. Sometimes we see that 1-1-1 build. I mean, the 1 point in Charge of Darkness, that's completely enough for the beginning of the game. You don't need additional speed. The 70%, the bash is, well, just scaling pretty much in damage, so the level 1 would be fine, and the additional movement speed pretty much by default, plus of course on use. That would also be nice if you actually have other people around it. So a 1-1-1 build coming out, and I think they could start. Bait the Queen of Pain blink, for example, and then charge her. That should do the trick. Problem is that Lina at the moment is just too low, and no one else is really in a position to charge.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for them to keep up vision as well on the Queen of Pain. So yeah, everyone pretty well positioned right now from TongFu. Pretty stagnant early game after that engagement in the mid that got 2 kills for Vici. But we do see a wrap bottom lane. That's going to be Dogfights charging in from the west onto Red God. He still has a blink available. There's going to be a zip forward from Lin, but the Cold Embrace is there from LPC. And that should be the blink out from Red God. Now, though, LPC in a little bit of a precarious position. He will fly through the trees, though, with that Arctic Burn active. And well played by the Wyvern to stave off any aggression. It also forces over a rotation by Lin, giving U9 some space in the mid.
Yep, I actually love it, because that creates some space now for the DK. That rotation was completely in vain, did nothing. Cold on Praise and then just hovering around the trees. There's nothing you can do, especially on a Storm Spirit at this point. Bounty Hunter actually found the Earthshaker. Well, this is going to be quite some harass damage. He has to be careful. If there was a Dust or a Sentry right now, they could actually get him down with a Rocket Barrage and just follow him, but no, it's not going to happen. So, Iron Shell up, and in theory he could just, stand next to the Gyrocopter and Iron Shell him down.
Yeah, it's a nice little cheeky little combo from TongFu. It's going to keep the Gyro back from any kills, but he's farming just fine. 29 CS to his name, and that's to the 16 of Red God's Queen of Pain, which is his laning equivalent. So Vici are more than happy to take this trade, having to have Kabu up in that lane all the time.
Yep. By the way, I also want to say something to the viewers, guys. Since this is a LAN in China, we actually have no delay on. And on HeflaTV, we still, talk to our viewers and everything. So if you guys have any questions on the way, so we can also answer them. So don't be shy. Just go ahead. And yeah, let's look in the mid here, because the DK is already starting to work on a tower. Like the Corrosive Breath, that should be 100 damage on the tower every time you hit him, so you can really get it slowly down by that first ultimate. So he popped it as soon as he dinged level 6.
Yeah, Lin has the ball lightning though, so they can't do much here in terms of kill potential. Dragon form about to expire, but does get some chip damage done, as you mentioned. Forces the rotation over from James, but it doesn't seem like they're getting too active anywhere else for TongFu. I think where they're really hurting right now is Red God's Queen of Pain. He's just dinged level 5, which is, I mean, pretty much middle of the pack at this point in the game. You got the DK and the Storm at 7, and the Gyro at level 6, almost 7 himself.
But I mean, it's the dual lane. The Lina that was surrounded by the Space Cow all the time is pretty much the same level, so I think that's okay-ish for now. Now they get even some solo experience up. Actually, the Lina is kind of afraid. She's already, like, halfway back because she doesn't know where the rest of the team is. But there's a charge. Yes, it's going for the Queen of Pain now. This done, plus the follow-up Light Strike Array, that should do the trick, especially because the Queen is just on 350 HP. There's the Blink. Lina won't make it for the stun, so the problem is Blink is still out. This should be a kill, especially if there is, Earthshaker coming, and there is a Darkseer trying to chase that Lina, but she has a new Light Strike array pretty much soon, so I'm not really sure if the dodge comes out. There's a new charge, and actually gets the kill, but now the interesting part comes. Where are the 17%? There are no 17%. I think he would be better off just by hitting it, because he's gonna die either way, and well, the flank forward. Sub forward from the Storm Spirit is gonna finish all of this. I mean, this little crash bottom means the mid tower is definitely going down now, so I'm not really sure if that was even a good thing to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I still feel like it's worth it for Vici potential. I feel like they probably should have made some rotation over with that Darkseer. Xpingo got really aggressive. It almost seemed like he expected some support somewhere. They get to mid tier 1, but once again, their Queenie Pain goes down. She's at 2100 net worth, and that's 5th overall.
Look at this, they're wrapping around. The Gyrocopter actually stands still. And well, there should be the initiation. Janata slow into Dragon Tail, but the problem is the ultimate. It's definitely gonna hit twice, and that's the biggest problem. Look at the rainbow of rotations coming in. There's the charge of the Spirit Breaker after the Bounty Hunter already got finished off. There is no turnaround at the moment happening. Even the Lina is coming in. There's a Light Strike array, and that should do the trick. Just, well, Cold Embrace helping him a tiny bit, but Rocket Barrage and everything should get the last hits through. He's still alive somehow. I have no idea how. The Spirit Breaker actually not charging him. He charges the Winter Wyvern, and now, of course, the Darkseer, he's trying to get at least one nice kill here out of all of this, but the problem is he's getting stunned. 2 kills right at the reach for him, and he's just not getting them. So make this a 1-for-1 trade, which should have been a massacre.
Yeah, it ends up being a 2-for-1 with Kabu going down early on as well. So a little bit of a small win for VG.P, but I mean, that was kind of the rotations I expected from TongFu bottom lane, and they did come in and just Xpingo's TP a little bit too long to find those kills.
Look at the Bounty Hunter.
The end.
He was still looking for it, and actually with the level 2
Janata,
level 2 Janata should do the trick. Click it. Click it. No!
Yeah, I think that would have killed off the Earthshaker there.
And I say Janata, I mean Shuriken, obviously.
Yeah.
I think he would have killed the Earthshaker. I mean Spirit Breaker anyway, but even for the Earthshaker, it might have been enough with level 2.
I mean, something to note is they did nerf the range on the Shuriken toss because it now bounces through track targets, so I don't know if he was in range, but it did seem like he was, but either way. Yeah, unfortunately, kill lost there. They're going to secure this 10-minute rune top. Lin going to pick his up bottom. He's farming very well so far. Null Tally, Bottle, and the first Oblivion Staff already available to this Storm Spirit.
Yeah. We have to see what the Storm Spirit actually does now. Not having a rune on Bottle. There is a Winter Wyvern he could go for, but it's too close to the tier 1 tower. I mean, we just saw the last fight, like crazy rotations by Vici. Like, just getting initiated on the Gyrocopter and instantly 3 people rotating, the other one charging in. Jesus Christ. So that's quite a lot there. And the Storm Spirit for now just grabbing up the first Oblivion stuff. So this goes directly into an Orchid, which I guess is the best at the moment for
It's very nice against Wyvern and the Bounty Hunter, and even Queen of Pain.
Yeah,
so,
especially, If it's not enough, the initial sip on her, and then getting her in a Vortex, if there's no one else, then the Orchid right after should actually do the trick.
Yeah, smoke bottom lane. James going to wrap around, drop a deep lane ward here, and they're going to look for LPC, who's hiding in the trees. He does have a Winter's Curse, so there could be rotations. In terms of TP, Xpingo does not have one. U9 on the Dragon Knight does, and Queen of Pains is cooling down in about 5 seconds, so they can rotate here bottom, but it looks like LPC just going to go mid and sack that bottom tier tower, trade it for the tier 1 top.
Yeah, it's a traditional tower trade. I mean, Vici is gonna be a bit slower because they don't have the pushy heroes, they don't have a Dragon Knight, obviously, with additional tower damage. So, yeah, they're gonna be faster done here on TongFu's side. Clean up some creeps in, well, in the dire jungle. That's pretty much about it. Let's have a look at the net worth. Who's actually leading this? So, the Storm Spirit came out on top, pretty much, because he also was involved in better fights, they lead in kills. But the Dragon Knight is not too far off, considering that it was really like a ranged versus melee duel. And of course they are a tower ahead, we cannot forget this, so this...
Look at XLL, top lane, Gyrocopter playing super safe, and rightfully so. There were 3 heroes stalking him. U9 had that ranged Dragon Tail ready, and Red God's been level 6 for a while, but they haven't been able to put this Sonic Wave to use, so good game sense from the Gyro there, not feeding over a kill.
Yeah, at the moment it looks like they're both trying to like somehow avoid each other. I don't know what's really the goal, because nobody's really looking for any kills. They're not smoking. The wards are kind of in positions at the moment where you don't really have any idea where your enemy is. That top ward, which was a laning ward, is just expired, which means, yeah, no way you can see where they are. This smoke in the mid might actually lead to a fast Lina kill or a fast Earthshaker kill, but the problem is, yeah, he does not get that cast through. There's a charge pretty much through 4, but now he's surrounded by so many, including the wall. There's, well, the big bad ultimate, but oh, Lina's ultimate completely whiffed here. The gyrocopter is coming. This is tons of AoE damage. This is already the second one down. Now, if they finish those two, it's gonna be a 4-for-2 trade. This was not how it was planned. The Queen of Pain way too late into this fight. Ouch. This one really hurt for TongFu.
Yeah, Red God was late to the fight, and it was a definite miscommunication from TongFu there. The first kill on the Earthshaker, they got the Dragon Tail off. Definitely would have killed him very quickly as they did, but they dropped the Winter's Curse as well. If LPC saves that for the Spirit Breaker rushing in after, they can curse him up and kill him off and probably just take a clean 2-0, but ends up being a very good trade going Vici's way.
Yeah, it just took too long, and this was even with, for example, like Lina's ultimate not really doing much, for example. So yeah, this one really hurt. It should have been like 1 or 2 fast kills and then out, but the problem, it was also at this choke point, which means in whatever direction you go, like one direction you face the gyrocopter directly, which means on top of course the ultimate, you face the rocket barrage, and even on your escape way, you're gonna get slowed by the cooldown. This was just horrible to watch if you really have a 4 target cooldown. It's just tasty damage right there.
Yeah, Red God not able to contribute there. Does pick up a point booster though, so on the way to an early Ags. I say early because it's his first item choice, but it definitely won't be in terms of game time. 14 minutes on, only with that point booster already. The Orchid very near completion for Lin on the other side of things. He's only a recipe away from that.
Yeah, let's see what's actually happening here. Maybe with that haste rune, we're gonna see TongFu on another aggression course. Actually, they just go directly into the mid. I don't think this was spotted out still. VG, they sense something is wrong. There are too many people missing, and now the rotation into mid. I think this is, they also group up for a smoke. This is double smoke, smoke into smoke on a big fight. Nope, there goes my Skype. Anyway, so 3-for-1 trade, the DK already on the backlines, but the problem is you just cannot escape. It's just absolutely impossible. Maybe the Queen of Pain is gonna get that kill. Actually, the Brief Fire is gonna get the Space Cow on the way back, and Jesus Christ. Queen of Pain with a haste rune. I don't know if she wants really to play around. The Storm Spirit has only limited mana, so there is one Vortex still available, and she's really trying to go in. Gets that Vortex, Light Strike Array, and it's not enough for a kill. It should be still the damage over time bringing him down, but the Lina is gonna be alive, as well as the Gyrocopter, so the Gyrocopter is getting a buttload of experience from this fight. This is a 5-for-2 trade. 5-for-3.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad overall for TongFu, but certainly not what they wanted. A little unfortunate there. The Queen of Pain misjudging the amount of damage with the Scream at the end. Probably could have got 2 kills if she blinked a little further away from that Storm Spirit. But smart by Lin to jump into the trees, gets the Vortex off, and ends up being not the greatest trade for TongFu. But yeah, smoke into smoke. Once again, they denied the Echo Slam with that Winter's Curse. But
That's interesting. Toply did not go through with the charge. Actually, there's also a rotation from the Bounty Hunter. And also the Bounty Hunter, I kinda miss what's going on with that Bounty Hunter, because like, where are the tracks where like this singled out kill? But then again, like, how can you actually find single kills against Vici Gaming? They stick together like the Kali family. It's no, it's really horrible. Like, you saw it in mid. I mean, okay, that was coincidental timing, that when TongFu is smoking towards the tier 2 tower, that they all TP there to smoke on their own, you know. But other than that, also the rotations are just amazing by Vici here.
what do you think of the Dagon build by the Bounty Hunter in this one? I feel like Vici Gaming are pretty damn tanky, and it's coming out a little bit late to be too effective.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem. It would have been amazing if you have that Dagon early, but the problem is you don't have it early. Like, this is, we're looking at a 17 minutes game, quite a good advantage already for Vici. That is 2k in net worth, actually less than I expected. Still, the fact is, it's coming out pretty late. Then, again, I have to say one thing. I thought the Gyrocopter is gonna rush a BKB, but he's not at the moment. He went for a Sange, which means we have S and Y rush, I guess, on him. Now a tower trade. He's not gonna get that BKB anytime soon.
He could pick up Silver Edge for XLL here. It's not bad versus the Dragon Knight denying up that Dragon.
Oh,
But bottom lane, though, they're going to jump in. Lynn's got the Orchid up. The mech, though, going to keep a Red God healthy. The call down's going to land, though, on a couple here. And the Darkseer having to back out. They're going to blow up the Queen of Pain. Now everyone turning tail and running. The Overlord charge is going to keep Zex Bingo slowed up. He's brought down. Wyvern now, LPC, all by his lonesome in the tree lines. And he's going to be brought into the forest and taken advantage of.
Oh, the bounty. Ah, my goodness. Oh my god, what is he doing? There we go. Finally, he's getting it through. He was kind of stuck there around the tree because the fog of war kind of clouded the Lina for a second, and I thought like, oh my god, now he's gonna die under the tower, something like that. But no, it did not happen. At least he's gonna get some additional gold.
It's actually 860 gold going the way of the bounty hunter there. Streak plus the track kill, so it's decent, albeit his team pretty much got wiped their bottom lane.
Yes, 666 gold. The devil is in that kill.
plus the track, so it ended up being quite a bit. He does pick up the Dagon now. We'll see how effective it ends up being. I feel like Lina's pretty much the only target there. Even the Earthshaker, who has nothing but arcane boots, has sitting on about 1k HP. Kabu, mid lane, needs to be a little bit careful. Sentry is going to be dropped here at the periphery of the tower's vision by Vici potential, so Kabu needs to be careful in walking up. He's just going to track the gyro back off. They do have a glyph here, so we'll see if they're willing to defend. All the ultimates up except for wall and curse for TongFu.
Oh, that charge actually interrupted here. It looked like Vici wanted to go in, but there was instantly the shout. Oh, Winter Wyvern getting the stun, being silenced there. The light strike array not coming through. The Lina actually getting burst down, but where is the rest? The Yule Scepter helping it for a time being, but there's no Janata, no nothing coming out. So that's quite interesting, to be honest. So Vici's gonna get the tower, but that's pretty much it in the end. I actually thought there's gonna be more happening. There was no vision on Vici's side, so the bounty hunter actually could have played a good role here by sneaking that kill after the Yule Scepter. Did not happen, but still, they only lost the tower, didn't lose anything else. And, well, we have to see. By the way, I think in those fights, like, we talked a bit about the Dagon and, like, what they want to burst down. I think it's still the Gyrocopter which you want to burst down. Because in those clutch fights, I think the heaviest damage right now, besides the Lina burst...
It definitely is his damage.
Yeah.
But
Cooldown and Flag Cannon.
I don't know if they have... They're going to have to get the jump in order to do so. I feel like he's positioned pretty well more often than not, and being the tankiest target currently on VG.P is the reasoning behind me thinking they're not going to grab him. Smoke going to be popped by Lin. Do they have detection? They do not. So they know that Kabu's around, but nothing to drop down here. And he's going to thwart that gank attempt.
Like, no one actually has detection. Like, nothing. There's nothing. Nothing on the Lina, nothing on the Storm. And the Earthshaker, who is, I guess, supposed to carry something here, is also not having anything. It's... I don't know, I have a bad feeling about this Earthshaker simply because I have the feeling right now we could see a lot more action if we would look at a Blink Dagger Earthshaker, but it's not gonna happen. He is like 1k gold in, now he's again on ward duty, he buys Observers and Sentries, so this is really a bad idea. Oh, there's the Bounty Hunter, he's just gonna get a stun again. They have to wait till those sentries are actually coming. And they invest in sentries, which, to be honest, I don't think is even the right thing to do at this point. Because, yeah, when you have such a smoke situation where the bounty hunter glimpses pretty much like the edge of your smoke, then I think a fast dust reaction would be much better. So the storm can zip around a bit, find him, and then vortex him through. What is the storm doing?
Just zipping out TP and getting a little bit of cold feet in that bot lane. Vici Gaming making the right play there, getting tracked up, having not much vision, just this one ward to the north. They back off, knowing they have an advantage and don't want to throw anything away. So definitely the right call from them. Full S&Y picked up, as I mentioned earlier, from XLL. So he's looking pretty damn good and pretty damn quick. Doesn't go for the phase, though. He's going to pick up treads here.
Yep. At the moment, the game slowed down a bit, or it's not really slowing down. It's more or less like the last two fights, smokes, whatsoever. Even the tower standoff. It was just yeah, it was pretty much a tie. Like nobody really came out as a winner, and in the end, both decided, okay, we are all low in mana and HP. Let's just go back. So that's the reason we kind of lack the kills here. 22 minutes in. When it comes to the advantage I was talking about for Vici, it's a tiny bit climbing with what 3k net worth. But I mean, what is 3k net worth? At this point, anything that involves more than 3 kills and you not losing much in return, that is pretty much that. So this game is so even though it looks like Vici having a crazy advantage.
I still think it's an advantage, but it's not a completely crazy one, as you mentioned. Lin is going to opt for a BKB second item here. I don't mind the choice. I think with the Ogre Axe, he'll have about 1300 HP, so they really don't have the right click to bring him down unless they get a great wall off if he gets that BKB off. So he'll be able to do quite a bit in these fights and have free reign over the engagements, and that should help them with the 5-man engagements, at least lock down the Wyvern and prevent her from keeping anyone up.
Yep. So Chinese farming is coming in. Yesterday I had a game that was real Chinese farming. That was the Naga draft. Like their only mission was like just stall time.
900
Naga's
GP,
gonna do it. Yeah. No, it was really like, and it looked horrible for the Naga. She was piss poor, so they really had to do this for half an hour, 40 minutes, and in the end the game was more than an hour. And the Naga won in a base race scenario where she alone got the throne. And on the other side, they were engaged in fights and a bit of like the S4 million Dream Coil actions, because all they did was interrupt the TP back to the base while the Naga was working on the throne. It was a very, very amazing game, I have to say. Either way, I don't think we're gonna see a similar situation here for obvious reasons. Still, Vici seems to be happy with what they have to farm right now. But why is that? I mean, I already showed at the items.
They should be.
Is there some key item coming out for the next fights? We're gonna see a BKB on the Storm.
Yeah.
The BKB on the Gyrocopter is also like the next station, but they're gonna smoke both. So we have one selfish bottom lane wraparound by VG, and the other smoke that was through the Dire Jungle but also didn't find anything.
DD Rune bottom, the Radiant are gonna see that get picked up if Vici opt to grab it here, so they will know where they're. Surge forward onto U9, and he's gonna get fissured up. Nice reaction by James. He's trying to jump forward, does have his BKB, so feeling pretty ballsy here, but not going to find anyone. Vici going to fog him out and dare him to come into the pit, and he's going to back out here. Charge mid lane, going to be queued up, but no follow-up here for dogfight, so...
What a standoff here. Like, nobody's really sure if they should initiate. To be honest, like, looking back down on the history, Vici won, like, pretty much every engagement here, so I'm not really sure why they're so cautious. Maybe they just want to have a fight on their terms. At the moment, it's more TongFu being there and, well, having all the initiate. Oh, but the bounty hunter is coming from the back while they charge on the decay. Actually, no, they don't charge on the decay. It's all on the Queen of Pain, but it's just the best item in the game at the moment, Glimmer Cape. And this cooldown is also not doing too much damage. Well, the Storm Spirit at the moment focusing on the Queen of Pain, getting it down. The decay is kind of in a lost position. The Storm is nothing you can really get down, but there's a track. Is that Shadana or no? It's not getting through. However, he's still dying. It's a 2-for-2 trade right now. TP's out by the Spirit Breaker. He could actually re-initiate that fight and charge just on anyone, but the problem is, yeah, Steam is out. Everybody just popped everything, and it's just a 2-for-2 trade.
Yeah, it was good play by Lin on the Storm Spirit there to isolate that Queen of Pain. Else, it goes much better for TongFu, but Red God just really having a very lackluster performance thus far. He hasn't been able to get off a big Sonic Wave in really any of these engagements, and as you see, 40-second cooldown still held on to, so just completely shut down by Lin there. Elsa would have been much better. It was pretty much just the Dragon Knight and the Darkseer in the front lines fighting for TongFu. But yeah, as you mentioned, pretty much a wash, 2-for-2 at the end of it. The thing is that it's kind of going VG.P's way because this Dragon Knight's BKB is starting to lose charges here. He's already used up 2 on that 8 seconds, and that's going to be a big deal once that gets super low.
I mean, this fight, I'm just thinking about who would have won this fight if it wasn't about the Queen of Pain pretty much getting taken out without using any spell. Like, that would have been a very interesting fight for TongFu, because they were in a choke point where they're pretty much all aligned. And that Sonic Wave would have done so much. This is an Arcanum Scepter Sonic Wave. Level 2. That would have hit at least 3 people, and that would have probably made the difference there. But yeah, good play by the Storm Spirit. He really prevented worse to happen.
Yeah, and him surviving as well. He's going to pick up that BKB fully completed now in base. So Lin can definitely get super aggressive here. He's going to pick up that level 16 soon. So even quicker ball lightning for him to jump in and out of these engagements. And he can definitely solo kill up these supports and perhaps even the Darkseer. He does have that Glimmer Cape though on top of his mech. So Zex Bingo has been able to keep himself up for a pretty long time in most of these engagements.
So what do you think? I mean, if TongFu is pretty much on the same train of thought as we just were, that like, hey, if our Queen of Pain would have done something in that
Yeah.
fight, we would have won. Maybe they want to press forward, go again. Dragonite ultimate is ready, the tier 2 tower is for the grabs. There's no cliff available, so that should just do the trick. Winter
They
Wyvern
need to
actually
jump.
hovering around the trees, and off they go for it.
Yeah, they're going to jump in. Sonic Wave is going to get onto XLL, but he pops his BKB. Calldown's going to hit on a few big Echo Slam as well. 3 down already for TongFu. U9 now isolated. Laguna Blade finishes him off, and Kabu trying to TP out will make it out. But VG potential with just seriously great reaction timing with that Echo Slam there. It was the right play from TongFu to jump in with the BKB being able to pop on their Dragonite, getting the Dragon Tail off, but XLL a little bit too tanky to bring down.
Yep, that was just a disaster for TongFu. Absolute disaster. Now, by the way, just before that fight, there was also a Vladimir's offering picked up, which is absolutely the best you can have right now in this scenario. Going for Roshan, the lifesteal is real. Everybody can just contribute. It's totally fine. The Storm Spirit even farm it a tiny bit here and there. Is he gonna be the one who receives this, or yes?
For sure.
They're gonna put it on him. There's a dust. I think someone should pick up that dust, but no one really does. Maybe the courier later, who knows. But I think the dust, that was actually kinda good what they did on the Bounty Hunter. We have a charge top that is on the Bounty Hunter. Do we have vision on the Space Cow? Yes! I think that might be a solo kill here.
Yeah, he can easily take him down, even with the Dagon. He's got enough movement speed, even with that track lock. He's going to jump early with the Nether Strike, and we'll need one bash or two.
17%. Jesus Christ. That was, what, 4 hits? And not a single proc.
I think generally,
that would have been like...
generally you try for a couple more attacks before you go for that Nether Strike. It was a bit early, and yeah, doesn't end up getting the RNG there, but smart play to back off with the Empowering Haste active there, knowing that that tier 2 was available for TongFu to TP into.
Yep. But TongFu, I don't know what their solution is to this game. I mean, the fight before this massacre looked promising. This one was now a complete bummer.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Like, do you farm? Does it actually get better over time? I don't think so. That's the problem. With the Gyrocopter, your draft has a half-life. That's the problem.
Yeah, they definitely don't scale nearly as well, and U9 even going to pop his Dragon form here to farm up some Ancients means they can't try and go high ground or even to push into these tier 2s anytime soon for the next couple of minutes. So look for VG.P to get aggressive off the back of this Aegis pickup with Lin and his fresh BKB, and therefore not having that Dragon form could really hurt TongFu here. We'll see if Lin looks to smoke up with his crew. Do they have a smoke on anyone? No, Vici doesn't have a smoke just yet, but they pick up the Ags now on Lina. That's a lot of firepower added to their team.
Yep. And well, at the moment, I think Vici, they kind of agree with our analysis there. Like, it seems like they're in no rush whatsoever. Like, every time it gets somehow closer now to a tower where TongFu is approaching it, they have the rotations in, they're not afraid to be singled out. They're still close enough to even converge if someone is getting ganked. And, well, we don't have a crazy initiation on TongFu anyway. Like, also, the Bounty Hunter now is in a position where he is just dropping so fast. He can pretty much get soloed by almost everyone except for the Earthshaker, and almost everyone has vision against him, so that's really, really bad. At least some dewarding is happening at the moment, but then again, there's also some warding happening here. The Temple Ward comes out, and they're gonna work on a tier 2 tower already, which is completely uncontested. There it goes.
Yeah, and they're just asserting their dominance right now as VG.P with that Aegis, as we just mentioned. So it's the right play from them. They are playing a bit safe for my liking. I feel like with Lin having an extra life and a BKB Orchid, he can definitely get super aggressive. But yeah, they don't quite have vision of anyone just yet. So.
Oh, where's the charge? I actually thought they charged the Bounty Hunter in that second where he was tracking up, but nope, it didn't really happen. In the mid, what I kind of lack is really the initiation. We have a Blink Dagger Dragonite. The funny part is, I mentioned it, that like sometimes in the West, you see that Blink Dagger Dragonite coming out, especially in NA Dota. I think the first time I saw a Blink Dagger was for
Fear.
Was by Fear, along those lines. And oh, are you lagging?
No. Not that I know of.
I think I just got disconnected.
I can give him a little radio Dota for here. Lin looked to walk in mid with a dust and bring down the Bounty Hunter. Wasn't able to do so. Gets tracked up, so Vici going to back off and reset. They're looking to mount a push on this tier 2 tower mid. Maybe that's the reason we don't see the DK go for the Shadow Blade, just because they already have the invis. But U9 going to jump in mid with the Dragon Tail onto XLL. They get the curse off before the BKB as well, but they can't bring him down. He looks to turn, he drops the call down, and the Sonic Wave, though, will finally come through and finish off that Gyrocopter. Lin looks to jump in, though. He'll bring down the Darkseer, and it's a 1-for-1 thus far. Dogfight's, though, trapped up, isolated out. Breathe Fire takes him down. James going to jump in with the Echo Slam. Laguna Blade going to follow it up. The Dragon Knight goes down. Overall, it's a 2-for-2. Darkseer and Dragon Knight for Spirit Breaker and Gyrocopter, but no buybacks on all 4 of them. Lin still has the Aegis, so Vici still pushing into this tier 2 mid lane.
I have no idea what's happening, but I think the Chinese server decided to just not be kind to me and completely kick me. So I'm trying to reconnect. Let's see what's happening.
Eul Scepter up by the Lina. It's just going to try and sound the retreat for VG.P. Red God jumping forward, trying to find someone, but tracking her a little extra move. She's going to get hit by an LSA, though, and Yang going to be able to run and back off. Sonic Wave, though, comes through, just barely surviving. Yang with 70 HP on the Lina is able to make it out. James going to jump forward with the Enchant Totem, and Lin going to come from the rune spot. They're going to turn around with the LSA. They bring down the Queen of Pain. She's down for 56 seconds. The Bounty Hunter going to fall as well, and things are just falling apart for TongFu. 29-12 is your score. Vici potential rolling over them. They still have the Aegis, which now expires onto Lin, and the Gyrocopter gonna respawn here, and everything looking really out of hand now. All of a sudden, it's almost a 10k net worth lead and in excess of 15,000 in the way of experience going VG.P's way.
Yeah, I'm by the way back. I don't know what happened. It's just a random Chinese, I don't know, disconnect.
Perfect
It's
world,
like,
please.
Get the fuck off, get behind, or get on the other side of the Chinese wall again. So yeah, it really looked like a disaster. I just caught the end of the fight where they really just got kited. I mean, 50 HP and 100 HP, and they still survived with the Bounty Hunter chasing them. I don't know why he did not use that track earlier. I think that would have made a difference, maybe in movement speed. But let's see, maybe top we're gonna get something done on that Spirit Breaker, but no, it's not gonna happen. The Spirit Breaker is not gonna go far out. Instead, we have Vici, yeah, looking at that bottom tower, which is for them easy to take.
Yeah, they're going to take this completely uncontested, and they've been playing this style all game long. Spirit Breaker pushes out a lane opposite the rest of his team, charges in when he needs to join the fray, and they're just going to finally assert their dominance here. 8-second BKB still available on Storm, 8-second BKB still available on the Gyrocopter. They just pinged out the Spirit Breaker top, so they know that there are only 4 members of Vici bottom, and Kabu immediately jumps out to try and find a straggler, but VG.P far too sharp for that. They'll already back out.
Yep, and they just fall back again. Vici's happy with what they got. You already mentioned like the net worth advantage they have, and I don't think there's much more to come. They're happy with all the outer towers. Now, of course, there's the question: are the Chinese like really fancying that high ground push now already, or do we see another 5 to 10 minutes farming into a big fight, or just pressing forward with a big fight? Is there a smoke coming up somewhere? Because I think that might be something we see out of Vici Gaming. Yes, the smoke is actually coming with the courier. So that's only a 2-man smoke, however, a 3-man smoke with a Gyrocopter. We have to storm for the initiation, but at the moment, oh, they're heading towards, yeah, Wind Survivor, and that's what I want to take out. And, well, he's already low HP. There's the call, and he's definitely going down. The wall is a nice position, but Alina is going to get the second kill. There goes the Darkseer. There goes the Bounty Hunter, and even Queen of Pain now with the bashes completely surrounded at DK. Everybody's standing in the wall, but nobody cares. They're
No
just
buybacks.
too tanky.
Not a single buyback on TongFu's side, and yep, they're going to call GG and bow out here. Vici looking very sharp against the team that was currently undefeated and in first place. So after losing to a qualifier team, Vici looking a lot better here.
That's very interesting. I mean, considering all the standings and everything, TongFu with 3-0 against the other teams, easy going, but against Vici here, Vici potential, that's very, very, very surprising. I think it really comes down to a laning that was not very optimal for them. Like they took a beating at the first some fights, and well, from there on it just spiraled down, and they never recuperated from all this. So yeah, this means TongFu getting their first loss in this tournament, which puts them in a 3-1 situation, and Vici just enters the top 4 with 2-1, 3 games played. So that's very interesting. I think what's the next game?
The next game will be Energy Pacemaker versus Newbie Young. So two of the stronger teams up in this bracket right now, and definitely should be an exciting one.
Yeah, guys. So that being said, we have Newbie Young versus Energy Pacemaker. That's actually two teams that should be on par skill-wise. So that's definitely gonna be interesting. So let me just adjust the overlays. Then we go back to the waiting screen, and yesterday it was like it's supposed to be like a break in between, but they were going really fast for the lobbies. So guys, just stay tuned. I have no idea, and the communication with the Chinese people is not very fruitful, let's say like this. If I know the password and the lobby is up, then I'm already got most of my information. So we just sit here as Westerners and wait for some more Chinese Dota. So see ya in a bit.